And it's not even called a Pro phone. Welcome to a quick tour around the XPERIA 1 Mark V's new external monitor mode. This is a way for us to use a Sony phone as an external display for another camera. I'm sure Sony would prefer you pair an XPERIA with a Sony Alpha, but I mostly use Panasonic mirrorless cameras, and this still works great. Sony has included a monitor mode since the XPERIA Pro, a handy upgrade over a camera's built-in display. It's always bugged me how cameras describe display resolution by dots. My Lumix has a 1 million dot display. If I'm doing my math right, that should be around a 480p resolution. An XPERIA monitoring at 1080p is a significantly higher resolution, and my phone screen can get brighter than my camera display. This app has evolved over successive generations, starting as a simple display mirror, then including live streaming and broadcasting features. New for the XPERIA 1 Mark V, we get better display information and the ability to record directly to the phone's storage. This positions the external monitor mode as a rudimentary competitor to gadgets like an Atomos Ninja. I use this portable monitor to enhance the recording capabilities of my mirrorless cameras. An XPERIA won't best the controls and recording quality of an Atomos Ninja, but it can get close enough that someone might consider it as a lower weight replacement for a lighter pack weight out in the field. Newer Sony Alpha cameras can connect directly over a USB-C cable. Using another camera with an HDMI output, you will need to connect a USB video adapter of some kind. I have this cheap 1080p adapter, and there are newer versions of this that can support 4K resolution. If the video adapter can put out a 4K image, the external monitor app can record 4K footage. The app layout is simple and straightforward. The left-hand side of the monitor mode houses information on the monitor and input settings with audio levels. The middle of the monitor is our viewfinder, showing the camera feed. And the right-hand side houses our monitor controls and display guides. It's another example where the XPERIA's taller aspect ratio delivers a benefit. We can comfortably include a 16:9 video window and border that with plenty of space for modes and options. There's not a lot buried deeper in menus. Your primary controls are housed on the main screen. On the left, we can quickly toggle the display if we want a cleaner image with less distraction. On the upper right-hand corner, we have the ability to lock settings and screen mirror depending on the camera feed. If your camera is feeding you a mirror image, you can use this to properly monitor your subject. Depending on your mounting solution, your XPERIA might be in the wrong orientation. There's a handy 180-degree flip, and that way you can always position the USB-C port along the same side as your camera's HDMI output. A simple brightness control is right under your lock icon, and you can change your screen brightness here quickly. Very handy out in the field, and especially if you don't need maximum brightness, you can reduce some of the phone's thermal and battery load. Underneath the brightness control, we have a 3-stage display toggle. Here we can preset 2 specific looks and then turn off any on-screen guides. Selecting one of the display modes, we can toggle and customize guidelines, frame lines, waveform, false color, zebra striping, and focus peaking. If you caught any of my previous XPERIA videos, you know how excited I am to finally see focus peaking across all of the XPERIA camera apps, and now we have it in external monitor mode too. Frame lines are extremely handy toggles, allowing you to visualize the frame that you're trying to create. While you might be capturing 16:9 footage, you can be focusing your shot to aim for a finished project at a more cinema-wide aspect ratio. False color and zebra guides give you very clear visual identifiers to make sure you're setting your exposure correctly. Similarly, a waveform can be a handy visual identifier, confirming your visual settings with a quick glance down at the bottom of your screen. And focus peaking is one of the best visual identifiers to make sure that you're landing critical focus on your subject, where the borders of the sharpest parts of your screen are highlighted in a different color, and the user can select which color they'd like to see for a focus peaking indicator. What we see on the display are the most commonly accessed tools someone might need out in the field, but there is a monitor settings menu that allows us to customize some of the additional settings we might need for recording and for broadcasting our content. Resolution and frame rate settings, granular controls for false color, audio recording settings, how the monitor mode handles zooming in to check critical focus, and all of the information you'll need to put in if you'd like to use your phone as a broadcast solution for streaming services like Twitch. Put in the server information that you need, and you have one-button access to broadcast directly anywhere you have an internet connection. And lastly, just a quick little toggle for the high-endurance mode, where your phone might run a little warmer, but you can keep these settings active longer out in the field. Get everything set up to how you like it, push one button on your phone screen, and you're recording content directly to the Xperia's built-in storage. Smartphones are incredibly powerful pocket computers. We should always be looking for novel uses for that compute power. Where can a phone help us displace the need to carry another gadget? My Atomos Ninja is a device with a singular focus on video production. It is a better recording solution than the XPERIA's external monitor app. However, the XPERIA can monitor and record, and is also a 5G broadcast modem for remote live streams. While the phone is expensive for just doing basic phone things, it delivers a well-rounded list of production capabilities. Better still, when shooting out in the field, on my Atomos, I have to transfer footage off of my solid-state drives before I can edit. Recording to the storage on an XPERIA, I could start editing a timeline in an app like LumaFusion immediately after capturing footage. No file transfer required. It's always exciting to find new things to do with our phones, especially when they can contribute more to the creative and production process. The XPERIA is not called a pro phone, but it carries some remarkably professional tools for photographers and videographers. I hope you've enjoyed this tour around the external monitor app. There's nothing quite like it on any other mainstream consumer smartphone. If you have a nice camera, maybe take it out for a spin. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, and subscribing to the channel. All the support lately has been very much appreciated, those of you clicking on links or hitting my home site, SomeGadgetGuy.com, or those of you joining the list of names scrolling by on your screen from my Patreon, patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. This list is basically the coolest collection of tech pals in the universe, and they get exclusive access to all of my camera deep dives once I've had a little time to play with all of the settings on a new smartphone camera. They're basically the coolest, so I hope you'll check them out. Now, you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet. I stream my podcast on Twitch. I'm spending more time these days on the Mastodons and sharing photos on Flickr, and a little less so these days on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the Instagrams, but I will catch you all on the next video.